Good morning, students. In the last few classes, we have discussed about the entrepreneurship development, right? This would be the last topic under the entrepreneurship development, and which is a little bit important because it would be asked you in the part of maybe in objectives or maybe for 5 marks in answer the following or answer in brief part, right? So let's talk about them. And today we are going to start with a topic known to be as stand-ups and startups in India for entrepreneurs, right? What are stand-ups and startups? Let's see. Now, let's talk about what is Startup India. Startup India is said to be an initiative taken by the government of India, right? And these startups are being developed for what? Or it has been launched in 2016. Actually, the concept of startup in India was introduced in 2016 by the government of India, and it was being built with an aim of building an ecosystem, right, which will nurture startups in the country. Startups in the sense of small business which has been established by the people so that the part of unemployment would reduce, right? Again, to bring sustainable, the aim of this startup India was to bring a sustainable economic growth also. Why? Because increasing unemployment, right, was bringing more the part of foreign investments and those foreign companies who were selling the goods in India. Now, what India has started is they started making their own product and started selling those products to the foreign countries, right? This was a practice which was being done before also, but now with the increase in population, government of India thought of starting a startup, a program, a scheme for those people who want to develop their own business, right? But those who don't have capital to establish their business. So what they did was the government of India made an initiative to bring a sustainable growth in the economic system and to have a large scale employment opportunity so that the people of India would work towards becoming an entrepreneur, right? Now, what would these startup actually defined as? It has been defined as an entity having its headquarter in India. Obviously, when startup in India, we say the startup in India is being initiated by Indian government, so its headquarter will be in India itself, and which is opened with all the annual turnover of less than 100 crores. So turnover will be less than 100 crores, and here the startup which will be initiated by government of India would provide capital to the people who would enter into the entrepreneurship or who would enter to become an entrepreneur. Now, there were startups which were being given or initiated by the government of India. Those startups were I made programs which helped Indian entrepreneur to build 10 lakh mobile app startups, like small businesses which can help a bigger business, right, which can supply raw materials. Those also business or those also entrepreneurs would come up with a new business under the startup scheme, right? And this scheme, the first startup in India was being started for 10 lakh mobile apps which were being developed and still being developing, right? The Mudra Bank, if you know about this, Mudra Bank is Pradhan Mantri, we can say Mudra Yojana, which was being initiated by Indian government, which aims to provide microfinance and low interest finances to the entrepreneurs who want to start their own business. Now, if for example, if a person belongs to a little bit of we can say lower middle class or the lower classes, people who want to start up their own business, right? Then what will they do? They won't be having that much of capital. So what they can do is they can apply under this Yojana, that is Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana, where they can apply apply to the banks directly under this, and they would be provided with the low interest finance, right? So for a shorter period of time, for low interest, they would be given some loans, and through that loans, these entrepreneurs can develop their own businesses. So basically, to the entrepreneurs, this yojana is being given to the entrepreneurs from low socio-economic backgrounds. That is, the people who belongs to lower background, low income background, they would be given such benefits under this yojana. Again, when we see what are the objectives of these startups. Now, in general, if I talk about what will be the objectives, we can say that this objective of startup was to initiate we can say to initiate people, or to force people, or we can say to make people aware that there are many schemes or many yojanas, we can say schemes are there through which a particular person can become an entrepreneur without investing much of capital in it, and he can take a loan from the under different yojanas from different banks, right? Now the people would increase in employment, would like we can see the increase in employment through these yojanas. So let's talk about the objective. The first objective is they want 10,000 crore startup funding pool. Actually, they want to build, that is, Government of India wants that these yojanas would generate 10,000 crores of startups, right? So that more people can be employed under it. Again, reduction in patent registration fees. Now, whenever if I want to start a business, right, I need to patent my company, right, or my business. Then there are registration fees which are being charged by the different government agencies. Now to reduce this, why? Because the people who would start with the business would have a lower background, economic background, and they would be only taking loans from these yojanas, right? So they won't be able to pay lots of registration fees. So to reduce this fees, these startups were being brought. Again, improve brand currency, we can say code, to ensure 90 days exit window. There are many people who would want to start the business, and suddenly there's some of the matters where they want to shut down. So immediately they can shut down their businesses without having much of detailed processes, right? Freedom from mystifying inspection of 3 years of operation. There are agencies, there are many government rules under which a company, whenever company or whenever business has been established, they have to show their 3 years of operation accounts. So to avoid that also, you can like if you don't want to show much of your accounts, or you haven't maintained such of accounts, you can move on to this yojana. Again, a freedom from capital gain taxes for first 3 years of operations. Yes, like if you heard about the SEZ, that is Special Economic Zone. The businesses which are there in Special Economic Zone, they get they are not compelled to pay any taxes for 3 years. Similarly, under this scheme, those people who start up with the business, they won't be forced to pay the taxes for 3 years, first 3 operational years. When I say operational years, that means the people who are becoming an entrepreneur, they have to show the operation, that is the production in their businesses, right? Again, when we say the next objective of this startup is freedom from tax for 3 years, as I said, and self-glorification compliance. Self-glorification compliance means whenever you want to develop your business, you can take the help of different agencies, or you can take the help of these startup schemes under which you can develop your own or glorify your business. Again, to set a target of 5 lakh schools and involve 10 lakh children in innovation related programs. Like this startups were being brought not only for the entrepreneurs, but there are people, there are startups who wanted to start with the schools, right? So their aim was to start up with the 5 lakh schools under the startup schemes, right, by the government, and they want that children should be more educated. No, there should be low illiteracy rate, and where the schools would teach them more, not of the subject based more, but for the innovation part, right? More on innovation. Again, when I say the next objective of these startups are, that is encourage entrepreneurs within the country. Yes, that was the basic which I talked earlier. Promote India across the world as a startup hub. Yes. It was an initiative by the government to make people aware that whatever business you do, you can do it within the country and outside the country also, so that when your business is outside the country, that is when you do your business outside the country, it would increase your, we can say it will increase the demand of the product, and India will be known on a bigger platform through this startup, right? Build startup OSS as Rajasthan Incubation Center. There are many incubation centers in Rajasthan which was being developed, so that these startups, anybody who's having the problem with the startups schemes, or if they don't get the justice under this, they can move on to these incubation services. So what are the objectives of startups? First, 10 lakh crore startups can be funding pool to generate with this. Again, 5 lakh schools should be there under this. New entrepreneurs should be promoted. Then you can reduce the bankruptcy part, where you can reduce the payment fees for the patents and so many. Next, what is the Startup India Action Plan actually? Now, moving on towards what was the objective I've discussed. Now we would be moving on. The startup schemes were being brought, and what was the plan actually for bringing this? What was the plan made for starting up these schemes? The Government of India has announced Startup in India Action Plan that focuses on the following areas. Basically, these plans focused on the particular areas, where first one was simplifying and hand holding, that is the procedure for registration or for startups will be made easy. Actually, easy registration part should be there to start any of the business, because many a time when an entrepreneur wants to start a business, but there are so many procedures, uh, with it he gets some or the other disappointed with that. So to less disappoint with the entrepreneurs, the startups will be brought so that it is being made easy for the procedures to continue with it, right? Now simplification this was. Again, if necessary, winding up will also be allowed on a faster track basis. Yes, the winding up, whenever I want to start a business, it would be started easily. But when I want to end up, that is wind up my business, if I don't want to continue with the business, it would also be made easy under this startup plan. So this startup plan was being made with the first aim to simplify and to handhold. That is, to stop the business, it can immediately do that procedure. It will not take a longer procedure to wind up. Again, the second aim, or the plan focuses on the second point, that is finding support and incentives. Government will participate in finding funding process actually, indirectly, as well as tax exemption will be allowed in capital gains, income tax, etc. So this funding support, which the aim was to bring this stand-up plans, was to make the people understand that whosoever is the entrepreneur, they can move on with the business, but indirectly the government will help them by funding their business. Now, how funding their business? They won't charge you much of tax, or they would exempt you, as we seen, they would exempt you for 3 years tax, capital gains or maybe tax payment, right? 3 साल तक के वो आपको कोई भी force नहीं करेगा to pay the taxes or to pay back the capital gains, right? So this was the part where the government have funded you the part, right? Again, when I say the third point, industry, academia, partnership, and incubation. What is this? Under this initiative, government is proposing to introduce startup fest to provide pre-incubation training, to set up incubators with the help of private sector, to focus on innovation focused programs for students and so on. Now, there are many people who wants to develop their own business, right? But when they develop their business, what happens is they don't have the idea where to go, how the funding can be made. So these startups plans were being set in such a way that the people who want to become an entrepreneur would get every knowledge about it. So there were incubators, there were the people who used to train them, who used to give the knowledge to them, and this was being set up under the startup plan, right? Now there is we can say the other part of these schemes under stand-up schemes. Now, what are these stand-up schemes? What are their objectives? What they are all about? What they have planned about? Let's talk about this. These stand-up schemes are basically brought into action for scheduled caste and scheduled tribes people, right? And basically for the women. Now, the objective of this stand-up schemes were to bring or facilitate bank loans between 10 lakh to 1 crore to at least one scheduled caste or one scheduled type borrowers, right? At least one should be there for borrower should be there, or the entrepreneur should be there, who would start up the business, right? And would require a loan from 10 lakh to 1 crores. We can provide you 10 lakh to 1 crores. But you need to be, that particular person need to be this scheduled caste or scheduled tribe person. Again, at least one woman borrower per bank branch for starting up a greenfield enterprises. I would be discussing this greenfield enterprises later on. The enterprise may be in manufacturing sectors or the trading sectors. Now, give you a brief of what is green enterprises. Greenfield enterprises are those enterprises which are newly being started, right? Again, in case of non-individual enterprises, at least 51% of the shareholding and control staking should be by either scheduled caste or scheduled tribe person or a woman entrepreneur. If even the woman is not willing to start her own business, or a scheduled caste or scheduled tribe person is not willing to start his own business, he can be a shareholder in one of the company, but 51% of share should be of the stake should be of scheduled caste or scheduled tribe, right? Again, the eligibility part. Who can become a particular, who can take the scheme by the under the stand-up? The scheduled caste or scheduled tribe or a women entrepreneurs above the age of 80. So who can take the schemes under the stand-ups? The person who belongs to scheduled caste and scheduled tribe, plus or maybe a woman entrepreneur, but their age should be above 18. Loan under the scheme are available for only greenfield project. Now, what is greenfield project? Greenfield project is the first time venture of beneficiary in the manufacturing or service sector, services or trading sectors. So the people who are who wants to establish their business under the part of manufacturing, under services, they can move on with the scheme, and that particular business will be known to be as greenfield enterprises. Again, in case of individual enterprises, 51%. Again, the same thing I would repeat here. ग्रीनफील्ड एंटरप्राइज वही होगा जो फर्स्ट टाइम स्टार्टअप किया गया है, पर किसके द्वारा? शेड्यूल कास्ट एंड शेड्यूल ट्राइब पर्सन के द्वारा या फिर वुमेन एंटरप्रेन्योर के द्वारा, राइट? एंड दिस वुमेन एंटरप्रेन्योर should have 51% of shareholders. Again, about the Stand Up India scheme, the nature of loan which I say under the scheme, the composite loan would include the term loan and working capital. So the business who requires working capital requirement, they would be provided with that working capital plus they can also take the term loan, that is for a particular period of time they can take the loan. Between what range? 10 lakh to 1 crore, as we discussed earlier. Again, the purpose of loan, what is the purpose of loan? Is just to establish new enterprises in manufacturing, service or trading sectors by scheduled caste or scheduled type person or a woman entrepreneur. Again, size of loan or composite loan would be of 75% of the product cost inclusive of term loan and working capital. So 75% of loan will be provided. The cost inclusive would be term loan plus, as we discussed earlier, it should be working capital also. However, it will not be applicable if the borrowing contribution along the coverages support from any other exceed 25% of project cost. मतलब 75% लोन तो लेना ही पड़ेगा और 25% आप कहीं और से अरेंज कर सकते हो, पर अगर आपने 50% कहीं और से अरेंज किया और 50% ले रहे हो आप अंडर स्कीम, तो ये प्रोवाइड नहीं किया. अगेन, स्टैंड अप इंडिया स्कीम के बारे में और इंटरेस्ट रेट कैसा होगा? इंटरेस्ट रेट विल बी लोएस्ट, right? Make it very sure that interest rate will be lowest. यहाँ पे देखो ये चीज दी गई है that it will be lowest applicable rate of the bank for that category. Again, it would not increase the bank rate by base rate plus 3% plus tenure premium. Again, security. Besides primary security, the loan may be secured by collateral security. Again, here, what do you mean by collateral security? Collateral security would say that you need to, if you want to take a loan from under this Stand Up India, you need to कहना चाहिए mortgage, or you need to keep some of your property under the security as a collateral security or a guarantee of credit guarantee funds scheme for stand-up loans, right? As decided by the bank. Again, repayment. How the repayment will be there? Repayment will be done at in which years, or in how many years? We can say in 7 years within the maximum moratorium period of the month, right? So whenever under the Stand Up India scheme, what you have to do is interest rate will be lowest. Again, premium, the security will be collateral security you have to submit as per the rules of the bank. Again, repayment will be done within 7 years, right? The next part is again working capital. How much working capital will be there? For withdrawal of working capital up to 10 lakh, the same may be sanctioned by way of overdraft. Make it a note over here that if you want to show the working capital, it should be how much? By the way of overdraft. Rupee debit card to be issued for convenience of the borrowers. So under the Stand Up India, the bank will provide you with the debit card that is known to be as rupee debit card, where you can use that debit card anytime but the working capital limit will be sanctioned above 10 lakh by the way of cash credit limit, right? So कितना होना चाहिए? 10 lakh rupees का limit. Again, margin money जो हम बात करते हैं, the scheme envisage 25% margin money which can be provided for the convergence with eligible central and state scheme. 25% of margin money मतलब एक्स्ट्रा मनी जो कंपनी बैंक देगी वह 25%. अगेन एक और स्कीम जो स्टार्ट करी बाय द गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया वाज एग्रो टूरिज्म. व्हाट इज एग्रो टूरिज्म मींस? It is a new approach towards entrepreneurship, right? And this entrepreneurship scheme were under, it is known to be as rural tourism also. It was an initiative basically started in Maharashtra where the people uh, do farming and they invite people to see how the farming is being done, how you can take care of the farms, or how you can also become a good business person through farming products, right? So the agritourism offers tourists a chance to reconnect with the land and provide a hands-on experience, right? With local food, agritourism activity includes picking fruits, right? So through this scheme, what you can do is, through this tourism program, what you can do is you can become a entrepreneur and you can look into how the fruits are being picked up, how the good fruits are being picked up, how tending bees can be done, right? How milking the cow can be done, and other educational pursuits under the farming part, right? Again, agritourism focuses on travel that is empowering to local communities, both socially and economically. The definition of agritourism, if we can say, it is a commercial enterprise, right? Enterprise at a working farm, ranch, or agricultural conduct for the enjoyment of the visitors that generate supplement income for the agriculture, right? So here the part of agri-business or agri-tourism is to show the visitors how the different farming activities is being done, and through this they can get an encouragement to start their own farms, right? Do farming. Again, activities under agro-tourism is agro-tourism and nature tourism enterprises might include first outdoor recreation, that is trekking, fishing, hunting, wildlife study, horsebacking riding, everything which is related to the enjoyment will be also done, and educational part will also be done. Educational experience like farming experience, like rice plantation, how the rice is being planted, the cooking experience on chulas, these are the experiences which are being given under the agri-tourism or agro-tourism. Entertainment, harvest festivals like Khudra party in Maharashtra, जो ये होता है generally in the rural areas. If you know about, if you have farms, you must be knowing that these all schemes are there in rural areas. The festivals are there and they celebrate these festivals, and these tourists can see those festivals and experience those festivals as such. Again, the part of hospitality services like how the farms is being stayed, how guided tours or outfitter services is being done on it. Again, on-farm direct sales, how you can directly purchase, how you can directly sell the goods from the farm. That is U-pick or roadside stands. How you sell the goods, how you make the customer aware about the goods or information about the goods. Right? I hope like this part of what we have done, the first thing we have done about these startup schemes, which were being for the people who want to start their own businesses, right? Second was stand-ups where scheduled caste and scheduled tribes people are encouraged to start the business, or the women entrepreneurs. and they are being guided, and the different bank is being guided that if they want to start, at least one woman entrepreneur should be there for all the banks who have started with the stand-up scheme, right? How much money will be provided under stand-up scheme? The capital which will be provided will be including the new capital and the working capital also. That is the finance also and the working capital finance. Now here 10 lakh to 1 crore will be provided to any of the women entrepreneur or maybe scheduled caste or scheduled tribe entrepreneur, right? So I hope you have understood this. Please read it properly. I have arranged them in the points. So please read it properly and please learn it, or you can understand it better. Thank you.